Holy shit. Why did none of you tell me I was muted? Sag. Nobody told me I was muted. Not a single one of you. Looking kind of handsome today. Thank you. I'll take kinda. I'll take it. I will fucking take it. Got myself a delicious cinnamon roll. This man hasn't aged since 2016. Thanks, man. What I was saying when I had myself muted was, I think at the end of the year, I'm going to redo my coaching and replay slots where they're based on MMR. Yeah, like a slot for 2K and below, 2K to 4K, and 4K and above, I think, would probably be my divisions. Hell yeah, Thriving Gamer, I appreciate it. No problem, XD Shadows. Okay, we're 13 minutes into the stream. Today's the 19th. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Got ourselves a 1K MMR, a Baden. Says, well, let's go the opposite route. This one is where we ended up winning, and my position 1 drow left the lane early against a witch doctor. I think I had to have him resubmit is what happened here. Lane early against witch doctor, tied off lane. Drow kept wanting me to go on the witch doctor, which I thought was bonkers as we were pushing against a whole creep wave and the tide was just pounding on us. He got frustrated and left the lane after complaining that position 5 of Baden was dumb. Okay, well, that's life. This has happened several times with Drow's carry. I think it's because Drow likes someone with a stun. No, Baden's fine with Drow. But I want to know if that, since this was a game we were winning, what you can tell me about how I played in an optimal situation. What could I have done better for this drow? Sure, man. Let's check it out. Master tier Abaddon hog.
Is in our body. Prepare yourselves for the main event.
I don't think Windlace was very important in this lane. Abaddon's pretty fast. You're getting Shaman tied, I would assume, but obviously it ends up being Witch Doctor.
Thanks for that.
I would want that to be a stick, I think. He attacked you uphill. You should definitely buy a sentry. I mean, you should have a sentry on you every game, I think. I'd say like 90% of games. You immediately queued one up, so that's pretty good.
They sing the song now. Yes.
Oh, Drow killed it.
Old grave.
Wait, did you like give him a sentry? Or did he buy one?
Just 30 seconds now.
First blood. They sing the song of death.
He bought himself a sentry. Interesting. Okay. So this is something I commonly talk about in my bracket, or not in my bracket, in my replays. Your requirement for position 5 is you have to be laning for every single CS for the first 2 creep waves. This is just unacceptable. Being this late to lane, having this go on while you're just doing other things. This is just unacceptable. Too much happens in the first 2 creep waves for you to be allowed to do this. So the first second that you're allowed to leave is to walk over at 55, really quick, block the hard camp with your body if you want, and then come back to lane. I need you involved in every single CS. Just denying, helping your drow last hit, harassing the tide. There's just no real exceptions as a carry player. I don't want you to ever not be here. Unless I'm like some like Legion Commander semi-carry, some garbage like that. But like any regular carry, I need you to be in lane.
Denied.
So what I feel like I'm watching is that you have now taken your first trade at 158. That's just not acceptable to take your first trade at 158. It was the first time you hit an opponent and they hit you. I need you doing that at 35 seconds. Guess you tried to block hard and failed. I mean, here it drives us nuts. Yeah, I don't know what you can do about that. Yeah, I mean, so every hero's a bit different. So there's like a sliding scale, 1 to 10. 10 being that I want you there all the time as a carry, and 1 being like, God, just come over to my lane for 2 seconds and then leave. And that's like how much help I want from you. Every carry is a bit different. I would say Drow's like a 9. Drow wants you in lane, like, as much as humanly possible, until maybe, like, level 4 or 5. I would say, like, until you've pummeled the opponent into submission, where they can't even contest the Drow anymore, she wants you in her lane at all times. This hero needs to be babysat, like, really hard. So, what I'm basically saying is, if I were to rewind for the last 3 minutes, you've probably been in lane, trading, fighting with the Drow for about a minute. I need that to be as close to 3 minutes as reasonably possible. You know, you're allowed to walk over and block the hard camp. You're allowed to go over and contest the Witch Doctor if he's doing something relevant. But, like, I need you in lane, trading, as much as humanly possible. You're not allowed to, like, stay out of the lane for the first 30 seconds. You're not allowed to be on the side for, like, more than 10 seconds. You're not allowed to go pick up a bounty rune at 3 minutes when you're drowsing lane like this. I need you in lane with this guy. Of course, what he's doing over here is, like, completely insane. But, like, in terms of laning with him, I need you to lane with him. So that goes with your items as well. This item implies that you're kind of, like, weaving in and out of lane, doing a bunch of other things, involving multiple locations. But as with Drow, I just want you to sit in lane tanking for him, helping him trade. So I'd want stick, you know, more regen if you need it. Yeah, just items that imply you plan to trade. So I know what Dubu would say if Drow wanted to go, is that if somebody tells you they want to go and you, like, see the creep wave like this, and you know, like, hey, BSJ, you told me if they have more creeps than we do that we shouldn't be going, you're supposed to just hit creeps. Don't hit the low HP ones, that's gonna ruin the CS, but, like, hit the high HP ones. You know, hit this one, help the Drow get the CS on the flag bearer creep. So, like, if Drow's yelling at you to go, just say, we need to push the creeps first, and start hitting the creeps. Like, if you know that, which, like, you know, in your replay submission, you said you knew that. So just hit them. You know, don't just blindly follow your Drow, hit the fucking creeps, right? If you know that that's correct. That's what you should do. But obviously this looks a bit insane. To be honest with you, you need to understand the perspective. So carry players aren't generally the best communicators. I mean, just Dota players in general. I just need to tell you, that I don't know how much this guy knows about Drow. You know, he's bronze tier. He's 1k MMR as well. But as a Drow, I would want you in lane 90% of the time. And you've been in lane about 30% of the time. So, like, I'm naturally very mad at you. Like, for me, I'd say, hey, bad, and I need you playing in lane. Like, I'm trying to get better at saying, like, what I need from the support. But this guy's naturally probably frustrated with you because you've been playing way out of lane when you're not supposed to be. And even if he's not fully aware of why he's frustrated with you, he's probably thinking something along these lines. So I think my biggest issue with your replay submission description is that, like, you talked about what he was mad about, right? You said he wanted to keep going on the Witch Doctor. Most of the time, people are not actually mad for the exact same reason that they're, like, on paper telling you they're mad. Meaning, like, they'll, you know, have you ever been in a relationship, you know, somebody says they're mad about something, but it was actually something you did 2 weeks ago? Well, this guy's probably mad that you didn't play the lane for, like, the first 3 minutes, okay? That's probably what he's mad about, okay? That's, like, what's happening here. So, I need you to understand that, because, you need to take his flame and, like, pinpoint its origin, you know? Because that's actually going to help you be a better support. That's what I need to do as a carry. That's what everyone needs to do. But at the end of the day, nobody's going to fucking do it. The majority of people aren't going to do it. But we can get you guys to do it. So my issue with your lane so far is that you weren't playing in lane. So he probably got really frustrated. He probably tried to force something. You blindly followed him rather than fixing the lane equilibrium and then going. And now you're jungling, right? All these things are a complete breakdown of communication, understanding on both of your parts. And so we need to prevent you from doing that in the future. So you're going to come back to lane. We're in, like, complete anti-dive mode, right? Drow just doesn't want to get dove. Looks like they pulled hard. What happened here? So Drow's, like, flaming you? So they pulled hard here because there's no creep wave. Which means, like, as a 5, it's really important with a carry that can't contest that we go to this hard camp. Here's the deal, man. My stream's probably not the best place to learn this proper behavior from, because most of the games where I get really salty as 5 is when some ranked 900 guy first picked, and I get mad. I've stopped letting them first pick, but I'm not going to validate myself. What I'm saying here is that your ideal solution is to win MMR, is to support properly and mute the people that you don't want to listen to. So, you're not supposed to leave the Drow. Drow is a hero that I've already mentioned. Until she's, like, level 6 or 7, she just doesn't... Okay, until she's either totally secured the lane, which has not happened, or she's, like, level 6 or 7, you're just supposed to help her at all costs. Like, that is like, your issue with Drow. You said this has happened multiple times with Drow. I would imagine that's because you just don't lane with them. Like, you're supposed to lane with a Drow, once again, like 90% of the time. So if you keep leaving the lane, you're probably getting Drows upset with you, right? I don't care if this guy's, like, flaming you, right? If this guy is really fucking mad, first off, I need you to understand your support performance is flame worthy. Second off, you don't deserve to get flamed ever, okay? You don't ever deserve this, meaning, like, he should never just bitch and whine at you. Like, that's not a reasonable thing for him to do, okay? So we need to understand that there's merit to what he's saying, but it's also nothing you should ever have to put up with. You should never have to deal with this shit. So what I mean by should never is just mute the fucking guy and then properly support him, okay? That's how you're going to win games, all right? It's like, as a carry, it's like, my job, if I have teammates I'm not getting along with, is to mute them and properly carry the fucking game, right? That is my job. It's the same thing for you if you want to win games. So they pulled hard camp based on the fact that we don't see creeps. We really needed to help our Drow contest that hard camp. This lane's still perfectly fine. He's level 4. This guy's level 4. We just need to stay. Like, we need to look at the game objectively. Like, I don't give a fuck if this guy's mad at you, right? Like, you can just mute him and play the game. Of course, if he starts, like, breaking his items or some shit, it's different. But, like, he's still playing the lane, despite, like, you two being on completely different pages. And I want you to understand, man, you're in 1K. Like, there's a pretty good chance that you or your teammate in almost every single game is not going to understand the matchups properly. Like, that's just how it is. And not only that, but you and him are probably going to have, like, different ideas of this matchup. So, what I'm trying to teach you about like the origin of these arguments is for you to actually learn. It's like you know, these dynamics of the lane of like how often are you pulling? How often are you playing inside the lane? How often are you like going and stacking and picking up runes? Like how often are you frontlining? How often are you sitting behind the guy? You know, you play a lot of Abaddon. This hero has like different options. There's like certain lanes where Abaddon's super impactful. There's certain lanes where Abaddon's like kind of useless. A lot of it depending on who your carry hero is. And it's like with a Drow, all she needs is somebody running in front of her tanking, right? Tanking spells. So like, you know, you can play Abaddon in a bunch of different ways according to what carry you're playing. And that's something you need to learn over time. I feel like what I'm seeing from your replay is that you're not learning any of this shit. Because honestly, reading your replay and seeing what's happening in the game, you look like you're just feuding with the Drow. Like he obviously doesn't look happy, and you look salty. So that's what it looks like to me. Like you just ditched the lane in like a completely unreasonable time to ditch the lane, and now Drow dies. I don't think Drow was supposed to die there. Her and Tide were like perfectly tied. So you take mid lane now. Dewarding. Somebody else goes bottom. So yeah, you should go bottom too. Okay, so you do go bottom. So you're in like complete tower defense mode here. Yeah. So you're in like complete survival tower defense mode. That's all that matters down here. Whenever your carry leaves, your only priority is that his tower doesn't die. Like, you should use every ounce of energy in your body to protect this tower. So if whatever you're doing doesn't include protecting the tower, then you're doing it wrong. So what I mean is walking out and harassing this level 6 Tide who has like triple your net worth and then dying for it is incredibly bad. Just sit underneath tower, shield yourself, drag the creeps, make sure they don't kill this tower. And the longer you do that, it is so impactful. So, you know, there's going to be games where even if you play perfectly, your carry gets booted out of lane. Especially against, like, you know, Viper off lanes and shit. But it's like, you know, once your carry leaves the lane, your only job in the game is to defend this tower and make it as difficult to stop you as possible. You literally walked into them and died. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. Like, I would think on paper, if I had somebody submit me a replay where they're like a position 5 Abaddon spammer, that you would be like zen as fuck. Like, because Abaddon's like one of those heroes that all he does is enable his teammates for the most part, and you kind of just like got to sit back and hope they carry you once you've secured the early game. Like, I expected to see like a really strong early game performance of some sort, and then, you know, just whatever, the game goes from there. I feel like I'm literally watching a position 5 Rager. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is just dumb shit. Like, I don't think you think that's correct. I think you're just mad. You gotta keep your cool if you're gonna play support, man. I mean, you gotta keep your cool if you play any role. That death was kind of reasonable. I mean, I think you didn't think you would die there. You're underneath tower and shit. So I wouldn't give up on bottom. I would keep shielding my Drow in terms of my positioning. So you're gonna sit mid. That's reasonable. Okay. Unfortunate proc of your ulti there. So what's happening over here? Your Lich is going in and getting gone on. Okay, save the Ricky. Mid lane's getting pushed. We should try to defend that. I would buy Tranquil Boots here, almost certainly, against Zeus. You're gonna take a lot of harass damage on the map and stuff, and a lot of it's not right-click based, so you'll always want to be full HP. This is like certainly a Tranquil Boots game. Definitely a Triangle Boots win lace game with how much you're walking around. Team gets a few kills, you show up to the tower. Didn't even look before you TP'd. Whenever lanes are like pushed in, you should be looking around the map. You know, you should be looking and seeing what's going on here, looking and seeing what's going on here. The luxury as a support is that you just don't have as much to do in the game, so you can afford to look around. You just like TP'd bottom after seeing your entire team TP, but you didn't even like look before you just did it, so that's not good. You should always try to look before you TP. Most situations, you know, you'll have time to evaluate. Okay, so these sentries should see the high ground. Like, these sentries should, like, see this high ground location, like, max distance. Like, the outer circle of this sentry should see here. You're just missing a lot of common ward spots. Like, you placed a sentry up here when you could have placed it here. There's a lot of people that place wards over here. You happen to miss this one. My point is, like, these are just really suboptimal sentries. If you're, like, a support spammer, which, like, you know, this is a really important aspect of Dota, is that wherever your sentries are, the edge of them should clip the high ground. You should use your courier to scout the high ground, if you're a hero that can't get vision of the high ground. So, like, if you're Dire, you'd probably place your sentry, like, right here, you know, so it sees the high ground and also potentially a ward over here. I feel like your sentry usage is just really bad. That's all I got there. Also, when a big fight happened mid, like this one, I would have littered mid with sentries. I would have put one, like, right here to catch every... So, like, instead of this sentry and this sentry, there could just be a sentry right here, and it would catch, like, most of the relevant wards right here. And then, if I didn't find one here, I would probably place a sentry right here as well to do the same thing. It's just like whenever a fight happens, I assume the opponent warded there. I don't care that you're in the 1K bracket. You'd be surprised if people do ward. They're going to ward somewhat reasonably. You know, they took a fight in the mid lane and they just plopped a ward down. And it's like, what's happening here is if you sentry these areas and there's just no ward there, then, like, you're good. Like, you've secured that there's no ward vision in the mid lane. And that's, like, important in and of itself to know that they don't have ward vision. So yeah, a lot of little things that I'm not liking about your gameplay here. You're just like TPing to everything reactionarily, not really judging what's happening. You're just instantly TPing. It feels like your foresight or planning is just not there. You just left wards up after a mid fight, which is really bad. You should stop showing in lanes. This is something 1K MMR support players do all the time. So you guys made a smoke play. You're all right here. You have two people pushing the wave. Like, if you guys want to make a play here, first and foremost, like, this is just not a play. Like, you guys don't have a tower hitter. Like, you guys do not take this tower. Like, this is just not a thing. I've made this time and time again, I've made this clear that this tower is not worth inconveniently pushing. Okay? Like, meaning, like, unless you literally have a crucial kill that you smoked for, and you have a natural tower hitter right there, and you're just going to kill the tower right afterwards, like you have a shaman or, you know, like a Terrorblade carry that just used meta to get a kill or something. Like, other than that, you're not hitting this fucking tower. So there's two things. First off, don't hit the fucking tower. Just leave. Like, go somewhere else. Like, go walk mid. Go place sentries. You know, go de-ward this area. That's what I would look to do with this time, because I'm a support. And don't show on waves that you already have two people showing on. This is, like, really bad, right? We don't need to give the opponent free information. You literally walked in and showed yourself on creeps. I think that's happened, like, 3 or 4 times, by the way, where you're in an area, they don't actually know exactly where you are, and you just walk onto the creep wave. And it's just not good. You're valuing the opponent not seeing you, unless they have to, is, like, a really important part of supporting. I mean, it's an important part of every role, but supporting especially because you're not actually supposed to... Usually you're not actually farming the wave, right? Okay, kept that guy alive. This is why we need tranquils. So, big difference between tranquils and mana boots for supports. A lot of supports kind of have to pick and choose which one they're going to go. I would say mana boots are like the luxury boot, right? Like you would rather go mana boots on like almost every hero. I don't know how to explain it other than there's a way to predict that you're gonna take like flak damage. Like the opponent's not even gonna hit you with spell, or like they're not even gonna target you with spells, and you're gonna lose HP. You're gonna get clipped by Ravage. You're gonna get hit by Zeus ulti. You're gonna get hit by random Witch Doctor casks and ether shock things by Shadow Shaman. Like notice how like you weren't even the focus of the opponent's attention in that fight, and you dropped to like really low HP. Obviously, you also have a spell, Miscoil, that kills you. So, that's like an added bonus. This is something that my point is that you can predict this at like minute 6, like minute 5. I wanted you to buy Tranquils. Like I was thinking it at like minute 5, and you see it backfire at minute 19. This is the kind of stuff that like that's honestly the only crucial item decision you've had this entire game. I'd say going stick level 1 was a big deal. And then I think Bassi and shit's fine. So like Tranquil's stick and a Bassi seems reasonable. You're definitely not having mana issues. Even if you want to go Holy Lock it, like it's more useful that you're alive than building into better items. So
I'll take that.
Yeah, I need you to just TV mid right now. I would just tell my team to like chill. You guys just missed like 12 creeps mid. And you're going back to base because you're half HP. This is just all making me very upset. I think I've seen enough for this specific replay. I really grilled your laning stage and this mana boots to Tranquils thing. I need this to be really apparent to you that it's like pretty unacceptable to go back to base like this. Like you just defended a tower and you use like no mana, and like this is like not a big deal if you just have Tranquils, but you're going back to base because you're missing HP. So you bought the luxury boot and you didn't have the luxury to buy it because you're against heroes like Zeus, right? So yeah, this is just not acceptable to remove yourself from the map like this. Yeah, I mean this is like the most 1k thing ever, right? Like you TP'd, defended a wave, had full mana, half HP, walked back to base, spent 20 seconds disassembling an item. Like that is like at the end of the day, that's just bad, right? We can't afford to be doing that if we want to win games. So, like, if you ever see your team pushing and you leave to go defend a wave really quick, like this, which is, like, the correct play. Like I said, somebody should go mid. Like, this is a problem that you guys are just leaving mid. Understandable that you're like, but BSJ, I left my team behind, Sometimes they're just going to go die. Well, yeah, like, that's exactly what they did there. So, it's like the best thing you can do, though, is go TP, defend the wave, because, like, you understand that. And then the compromise is that once you finish defending the wave, you immediately bolt back to your team, like as soon as possible. And it's like, yes, sometimes you're going to TP away, defend, they're all going to die before you even get there, and it's life. But like if you TP'd, defended, ran back to the team, and like were just like 1 second late, I'd say like, man, all they had to do was chill. But like you TP'd, went back to base, spent 20 seconds there, and then here you are. And that's like, that is so unacceptable. That is like the exact thing here. Should be TPing in, defending, and beelining it back to here. Probably de-warding our path along the way. Like that's what I would want you to do. I don't know if you just don't value your time in the game. I don't feel like you value your life like you did here. And also your time here. Like this just looks like these things aren't important to you. So I need them to be important. I'm not exactly sure why they're not, but they're not. They don't look like they are. Thanks for signing up, Matt. Hope it helped. Okay. What does Chad think about that one? Three dead, so he didn't want to feed more? And is that actually a thing? No, that's not a thing, right? People don't actually think that way, right? Maybe they do. Roasted. Oh god, we got ourselves a Herald 1. Great analysis, but I'm kind of worried that supports in my bracket will get better.
It's a certain.
Don't people want that? XD Shadows, man. Your hero comes first. I'm really tired of these excuses of like, my team does this, so I do this. You need to take care of your hero first. It's like, imagine in real life that you just completely neglected your own needs and tried to cater to your significant other. How would that go? Like, if you just completely neglected everything that you needed to give them what they needed, how would that go? It's the exact same thing in Dota. Like, if he just completely neglects his needs as a support, then he's not going to be impactful, even if he has mana boots for his team. Right? At the end of the day, he could go Tranquils and mana boots. Like, that's not even that absurd. It really isn't. Like, if he's like, man, my team just really needs some fucking mana, they just won't buy Clarities. You know? But, like, you can't just neglect your hero's own impact. You can't just be like, my team needs mana boots, so I guess I'll just use these and go back to base every 2 minutes. It's like, no, you can't do that. You cannot do that. Once again, mana boots are like the luxury boot. Like, you don't just buy them, you know? You can't just say like the Tranquils are like the necessity boot. Oh, I wanted to look at my notes for my replays. Oh, I have a 5 must-dos for carries. Courier, okay. Let me run a quick ad, actually. Bits of cheese. It's actually a huge deal to not be half HP on a Batten. All I can really say to you is your description makes you completely not understand a Batten. It's really important if you're a Batten that the opponent has to commit spells to make you ult. So if you're just sitting at half HP, then they'll hit you with like 1 nuke and you're gonna ult. That's like really bad. Actually, on a Batten, it's super important to be as full HP as possible. So you do not ulti randomly. The enemy doesn't proc your ulti conveniently. You just don't understand a Batten. But like that, yeah, that's definitely not correct. Definitely not correct. I forgot to look at my replayed notes from last week. So 3. This is 1. I need to have like the core roll. This is 1 as well. And then okay. It's like one of those videos I'll keep in mind. I'm actually gonna take note of that Abaddon replay because so 6, 7, 4, 5, 0, 2, 2, 2, 5, 9, ABBA. This is gonna be 4/5 Tranquils versus Mana Boots. 19 minutes. I mean, generally my support videos don't get very many views, but it is what it is. Okay. Okay, guys, let's load up the next replay. How far into the stream are we? 45? Cool. Mr. Potts, specifically the Netherlands has a treaty with the US where if I make at least 60K a year, I can just live here. Came to wish you a happy stream. Thank you. This was asked already. Are you planning to do a meta update for mid? Most of my content is not centered around mid. This week's episode is not specifically about any role. So I guess my answer is not particularly. Netherlands trying to steal the rich. Yeah. Okay. I need to change the MMR actually, and the role. Carry. MMR 40. Netherlands good for living? I think it's basically a utopia myself. Okay. Got ourselves a jug replay. 40 MMR. Yikers. First of all, thank you for your last replay you did of mine, the 40 MMR Morphling. Okay, haven't changed, I guess. I appreciate the comments you gave me on being more proactive in the game and taking objectives after fights. I feel like I'm still scared because I don't have confidence in knowing when I'm strong. I win fights, but I do nothing with it. Maybe you could give me some guidance on things to look for to know when I'm strong. When to take towers, when to take Roche, when to end, when to force buyback. Anyways, I felt like I was trying really hard this game, but my analysis paralysis stopped me from winning the game. Maybe you see other things that I could work on. Also, tell chat to quit saying I'm smurfing. I wish I was smurfing. It's just a grind to get out what feels like an endless trench. Okay. I mean, I'll first and foremost say that, like, you know, I'll just ask you this hypothetical question, I guess, or, like, rhetorical question. It's like, what are you afraid of? Losing in Herald? Like, you know, I'm not gonna minimize your feelings, but it's like, what is there to be afraid of? Why are you so afraid? Like, you have to address this internally, dude. Like, I don't know what the fuck could possibly scare you when you're already at the bottom of the bottom. Like, there's literally no negative consequence to losing a game, dude. Like, what are you fucking afraid of? There's just, like, you gotta grow some balls, man. Like, you just have to grow some balls. Whatever this paralysis is, you know, just get over it, you know? I mean, it's not that simple. But, like, ask yourself why you feel it. Because if you don't get over it, you're just fucked, you know? That is what it is. You'll never get any better if you're constantly scared of this.
30 seconds and counting.
Last of our kind, but first in this.
Okay, we got first blood against Wraith King Lich. Should drag to your range, which you do. Oh, you fucked it up. Kill. Drag to our range. It's really important whenever the lane's pushed to drag to our range immediately. It seems like you're trying to drag. I mean, I can just rewind. You know, you just keep trying to... Like, you're supposed to just drag to your range here. Just aggro these creeps straight onto your range as soon as possible. So it's already like an extra 5 seconds that you're not doing it. And then you do it and, like, tank the creeps away from your range, and then you pull them away again. Then you're supposed to get them onto this range, and you're, like, pulling them too far. I know what you're doing, but I need you to kill the range. If you're not killing the range, you're messing it up. So, you should drag backwards again and then drag them to your range. So, like, you are clearly trying to apply BSJ tips, and you just suck at it, which is fine. I can tell you're clearly trying. I need you to simply drag the creeps onto your range creep. That's what I need to happen. So, it looks like you're focused on putting the lane back, but the lane's not going to stay back if you don't kill your own range creep off, okay? It's just going to keep going back forward where it was. Notice how the entire time you're dragging, your range creep is just wailing on these creeps. See this? Like, it's just wailing on them. And that's what you need to get rid of, is this range creep that's just spending the entire time just hitting. Reminder, this range creep is piercing damage, which means it does 50% extra damage to creeps. It's 35 damage, guys, compared to melees that are only 21. So when you're dragging aggro backwards, the melees are chasing after the creeps half the time, so they're not even hitting the whole time for 21 damage. And the range creep is just constantly wailing on them for 35 damage. So it is incredibly important that you kill this range creep off, okay? Incredibly important, but you never do, so the lane's just constantly pushed. You're literally dragging to your range, not letting it go into die range, and then dragging again. That's what you need to see happening here. It's really bad. You keep doing it. So a little bit misguided application. Please just drag to your range and get it killed. See, you drag again. Oh, it's so painful, man. Oh, it's so painful to watch this one and rewind, like, knowing that it's not live and you can't just fix it. Like, oh, man. Oh, man. I'm going to stop acknowledging that you're doing that. Don't feed your healing ward. It's worth 75 XP, 75 gold. That's like 2 creeps. That's like really important not to do. Okay, random Zeus gank, 4 minutes.
Money changes
hands. When you're level 3, you're never jungling, so you get this kill. Your 2 options are to pull this camp, to stack this camp and pull it next. Those are your 2 options because of the time. We look at the time, we want to pull. Looks like you knew that. If you're level 5, sure, go jungle. Because, like, this hero's skill for jungling is Blade Fury, right? So, sure, you're level 5, go hit some jungle creeps. But level 3, I need you to either stack pull or pull. Not farm jungle. And it's super important that you pull there because not only... So what would happen is you would have pulled this wave right here. So you would have stack pulled, which would have given you 2 small camps. Like, you could have killed both small camps. And then the lane's also going to come back to here, which is everything we want. So instead, you slowly right-clicked down 1 jungle camp, which is half the amount, and then return to a lane that's right in front of the enemy tower, right? Which is what we don't want. Okay. Missing creeps, GG. So when you're trying to push the wave, which I think is what you're trying to do here, you need to hit the creeps that are not getting hit by enemy creeps. So, like, all of those attacks should have been on the high HP creep, which you stopped to hit it once before. And then, instead of hitting this creep, you should be hitting this one. That's just going to prevent you from doing this, right? You're literally hitting the creeps that are getting hit at, like, all times, so you're giving yourself a chance to miss every single CS. Like, instead of hitting this one, you should be hitting this one, right? Because it looks like you're trying to push. Okay. Definitely should queue up the Bassi here. With the way you're playing. You should have a wand, at the very least. Jug just buys wand. There's, like, very few exceptions. My lane has to be, like, utter, complete dog shit for me to not buy a wand as Jug. And what I mean by that is my lane has to be so bad, I don't even plan to contest them. Like, I just don't even plan to lane anymore. Because this hero just benefits so much from 3 all stats and the mana provided by wand. You just benefit so much from it. It's not even close. He's probably, like, one of the best wand beneficiaries in the entire game. So we need wand on you. If you don't plan to lane, you buy Bassi or Soul Ring. I mean, you're giving yourself a bunch of clarities with no actual way to give yourself mana.
There is little hope for Dire's middle tower.
I don't hate the TP.
Has been killed. Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't have any mana items.
Radiant should look to their middle tower.
I don't know, you know, if you're playing Jug, you need Wand, Bassi, Soul Ring, all the, like, you know, 2 of the 3, Falcon Blade. We just need something.
Middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is a glyph.
Yeah, this is just not.
Radiant's top tower is
So the way you learn this stuff, man. So you asked me like how to know if you're strong or not. It's the same thing as like how to know whether or not you buy Soul Ring or Bassi or Falcon Blade. And I just ask you, like, based on the last 3 minutes, is the amount of mana you've had available acceptable? Like, do you think it's acceptable to have like less than half mana the entire early game as Jug, right? And they had, like, you've had even less than that. You've flown yourself like 4 clarities. You're sitting on no mana the whole time. It's just not acceptable. Like, you can't defend this tower the way you are with not enough mana to spend in Healing Ward. Like, you cannot defend this tower. Like, this is probably a death if you try to defend it, I would imagine. So you Healing Ward. I mean, luckily the opponent's also 40 MMR, but
there is little room for Radiant's middle tower is now.
you should never put a second point in Healing Ward at 7. This ability is like insanely good scaling. You should go 4 points in it every single game. I want you to notice that you haven't spun a camp a single time. Not spinning a camp on Jug is like never blink striking on PA or never dark pacting on Slark. Like every carry in the game for the most part has some way to accelerate their farm up until they get a farming item. For Jug, that's spin. So your mana management has caused you to only really use mana on Healing Ward, and now you're actually sitting at full mana and you're not spinning. I actually don't know how to help you. You know, you're talking about grinding, trying to get out of the trench. Guys, the lower MMR you are, the more fundamental you have to be. Like, you just have to do things fundamentally correct in order to win the game. Like, you don't have to do fancy things. You don't have to assess matchups. You don't have to, like, play the map perfectly. I literally just need you to have mana and use your spell that costs mana to farm faster. That's it. Like, it would go so far if you just did that.
Coming through.
Okay.
There is little hope for Dire's.
Yeah, I mean, you just haven't spun to farm like a single time. At this point, you don't really spin to farm because you have a Maelstrom, but
Dire's middle tower is
don't have any TP on you. Not really sure why you walked all the way to this lane to farm.
should look to their
Or so you see a low HP Jug, or sorry, Wraith King. Just farm all the creeps on the way to whatever you're doing. You want to get a kill bottom, farm this creep camp, and if the kills is still available, go get it. Just farm your way to things. Don't take 2 points in your crit. Public service announcement, 421 stats, 421 stats, 421 stats. Every single fucking Jug replay, 421 stats, 421 stats.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. There is little hope for Dire's middle tower. There is little radiant should look to their middle tower. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is no more.
The prize is mine.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay. I'm going to give you 3 concrete things to work on from this replay. And it just needs to be your sole focus of your gameplay. Okay. Maybe what happened with the Morphling replay was I tried to tell you too much. So my recommendation for you is that you pick a hero. What I'm seeing in your... Okay. We're going to do Dr. SJ here. You know, we're going to diagnose you. Okay. What you're doing in lane with the creep aggro is an example of you trying to do really high level things. You're like trying to do tips that I'm giving to like 3K players, and you're 40 MMR. So what I'm saying is that I see glimpses of greatness and then just the most random fucking shit ever that I just don't understand. There's a lot of chaos in your gameplay. Like, there is just so much chaos. I don't know how long you've played the game. I feel like I'm watching just like a random number generator play the game of Dota. Like, I cannot predict a single move you are making. Nothing makes sense to me, I'll be honest. Like, literally, like, every decision just seems completely random to me. Maybe if I watched enough games, I would see a pattern, but what I'm saying is that you are 40 MMR. I have coaching sessions with a guy who played TA. You'd be able to find it. He played TA in both coaching sessions. And he's about your MMR. And the entire coaching session, I yelled at him for trying to be a 5K when he's like 400 MMR. And he kept asking like high-level questions when all I wanted him to do was push refraction and hit creeps. That was like literally all I wanted him to do so he could win the game. What I'm saying to you, a diagnosis of BSJ, is that I need these 3 core fundamentals to be worked on. You're going to play Jug, okay? Hopefully that's the hero. If you choose another hero, that's, you know, you're getting a guide on Jug right now. But you need to eliminate the chaos, okay? Here's the 3 things. You need to eliminate the chaos. So I need you to just pick one fucking hero and work on things, because I don't know what the fuck's going on. So you need to pick one hero. I'm giving you the guide to Jug, but like if you want to do it on some other hero, it's fine. So Jug, for instance, he can't really jungle reliably until he has level 5. That's like his spin timing. So if the lane's pushed out and you're not able to jungle yet, you need to pull it, okay? If you can jungle and you don't like where the lane is, then just go jungle. Okay. And the idea behind this is that, you know, if you're capable of jungling really fast, then waiting to pull the camp is technically inefficient. That's the idea. So for Jug, that's level 5. Please just go wand every single game. I don't even care. Like, unless your lane is so atrocious you leave, just go wand. Have the mana. Most likely you'll want to go Basilius as well, but from there it's kind of... So what I'm saying is focus on. First one is knowing whether or not you're jungling or not. That's level 5. If you're not, you have to pull. That's like the first fundamental I need you to work on. The second one is that when the lane's pushed out, drag to your range creep. That is like... That just needs to be done. Your range creep needs to die and then proceed to drag the lane back. Third is that you need to have fucking mana at all times and use spin to farm. Okay? You just need to use your spells to farm faster. Like, it's just not acceptable to be a phase boot Wraithband Jug hitting creeps with no spin. Like, it's just not, it's not a thing. That doesn't exist in the game. Okay? And then on top of that, that's 3. So literally 2 laning ones, one about pulling, one about drawing aggro to your range. Third is about having mana to cast spin to farm and then using it. That applies to any carry, like having mana to cast whatever ability they use to farm. And then 4 is that if you see a fight going on, all you need to be able to tell yourself is if there were creeps for you to hit. The only question you need to ask yourself at every single moment in the game is, where do you intend to farm next? Like, what is your next creep camp, creep wave? Generally speaking, what area of the map are you going to? Okay? So like right now, I see a camp that's available right here, and I see a wave right here to push this tower. If you see a fight going on, your homework is to immediately ask yourself, as best you can, like as quickly as you can, what creeps am I trying to hit right now? Okay? Ideally, in the future, you would be knowing this at all times. It's like a state of mind, you know? Like, I know at this point I'm heading to these creeps. At like every moment, you know where you're going, okay? And that's like the eventual goal. And if there's creeps to hit, you just don't go. It's literally that simple. This applies until like 25, 30 minutes into the game, okay? Like at least 25, maybe 30 minutes. You see fight, you see creeps, you go creeps. So say this tower was already dead and this wave was all the way up here. And these creep camps were already farmed. And you knew that for sure. Okay? Then it's likely true that you should go to this fight. Likely. The whole idea of this is that if you know what creeps are available to you, you're basically doing statistical analysis here and saying if there's a lot of creeps that I can hit, a tower that I can push, the odds of the fight being better than that is lower, right? But like if there's no creeps to hit, no tower to push, the odds of the creeps and tower being better is lower. I mean, that just makes sense, right? So rather than assessing whether or not you're supposed to go to fights, the most core fundamental of playing carry at the absolute lowest bracket is assessing what the option of not going to the fight is. Because that's like a very quantifiable, easily identifiable number. It's like one creep camp, one creep wave, one creep camp. You know, so it's 2 creep camps and a creep wave. That's what you're missing by going to this fight. Right? That's like an easily, this is what's going to be missed if you go. Rather than assessing what's going to happen if you show up. You know, there's going to be so many different variables, so many different hero matchups, so many different things, right? So what I'm basically trying to tell you, this is wrapping up the replay analysis, is that my assessment of every super low MMR carry player is that they farm so inefficiently that they don't actually kill creeps fast enough. So then what happens is there's a bunch of creeps left on the map, and then they go to fights. And none of this shit makes any sense to me. Okay? Meaning like, you know, like obviously I understand you guys are trying, but the whole goal of getting out of like 3K sub, like honestly, all the way up to like 3K, is to farm faster such that you clear creeps, such that you can then go to fights. So the 2 core problems there are that you're either not farming fast enough to clear the creeps, or there's creeps that are there that you're just not hitting and you're choosing to go to the fight. So things like not buying mana items, so your farm is slower, and then ignoring farm that is on the map are going to just cripple you. Like, I just need you guys to not do those things, right? Like, obviously, there's a lot more to this in terms of matchups and all that kind of shit, but that, like, to get out of 3K. But, like, if you are below 3K, you do not farm fast enough, or you do not clear the creeps before you go to fights. Like, that's it. Or both, in your case. Because, you know, you're 40. So, yeah, that's my advice. Those are your central focus for however long. Yeah, I mean, I just don't need to see a bunch of creeps available to you and then TPing to fights. I just need to not see that. Yeah. Okay. Did he forget to type a 0? No, I did not. Okay. Both. Narabilian. Both. Absolutely both. Oh, plates. Is that really what you think I'm doing? That's sad. That seems like such a negative attitude. Okay. Just reading chat right now. Yeah, I know, DMN. I appreciate it, man. Hard carry, reliance on fives and lane skill. I feel like that's just like too niche of a video. Like, only the people that want to learn that are people who watch the coaching sessions. There's like a lot of this knowledge that I'm teaching you guys. For instance, like hard carry reliance on fives, as like it's just situational every single game, right? Like every single carry is different. So like the only way I would accrue this knowledge, for instance, is constantly playing Dota and kind of like paying attention. So like I can really only say the only way you can learn stuff like that is to just watch my stuff continuously. Like I know that sounds like such a shill or whatever, but it's like you can't like memorize this shit. Like meaning like yes, I could give you a solution, but like you know what I mean? It's like stuff you should be aware that different carries rely on the 5 a different amount. And then just every time people are playing, every time you're watching a replay, every time you're watching a streamer, you should be, if you're a 5 position player, you should be seeing like how much they want their support there. Like, you know, that's just something you should watch for. If that makes sense. Thoughts on Chrysalis impact during qualifiers? Not a good Naga Siren player. I will say that right now. Not a good Naga Siren player. I think the carry role, you just can't be a hero spammer. I actually just don't think it works. Like, my issue with Chrysalis is that he plays like 5 heroes at a super high level. And then every other hero is like subpar, I feel like. And I think that works for other roles. I don't think it works for carry. I think carry is like the most important role to have like 15 to 20 heroes that you can play. So I think Chrysalis is a high skill player with a very small hero pool. And if he wants to make it to the next level, he has to increase it. Otherwise, he's just not going to make it. Unless you're Dahawk. I feel like Dahawk plays a lot of shit. What about mid? I think there's value to playing a lot of heroes mid, but I also think if you play like 5 mid heroes like a god, that's like good enough. Like you don't have to play more than 5. Like if you play those 5 like a god, I don't think you have to be that. I don't think you have to be any more versatile than that. Obviously, it's ideal to be versatile in any role. Like, let's not, like, you know, get to semantics here. But it's like, it's most important on carry, in my opinion. Okay. Would Nigma have a chance against Entity? Well, they lost to the teams that lost to Entity, so probably not. But that's not necessarily how things work. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Got ourselves a 860 MMR Ursa replay. Says your last replay review helped me quite a bit. It made my games way less awkward. As always, you were right with the push more waves thing. Got a bit of a different replay this time. Recently, I played a carry in a lot of games since people... I had to play carry in a lot of games since people are doing their cavern crawl thing, and I don't want to grief those games by being a useless carry and a burden to the team. I tried to apply your farming pattern teaching as best I can, but I kind of felt like I just did random stuff. When it comes to the whole wave pushing thing, there are things I'm not sure about. Did I play the right side of the map as Ursa, which is Roche? Should I have joined more fights even though I win Battle Fury? You could. Not gonna know yet. Did I overcommit in fights and just didn't get punished? And in general, am I overthinking things again? I know my laning is cringe. Okay. So yeah, Ursa always wants to play around Roche, unless the other team is forcing him not to. Orb of Venom level 1 on Ursa is just not a thing. So Ursa used to be a lane dominating carry, and he no longer is, until he's like level 4 or 5. The heroes just got really low base damage. He used to have like 7 base armor. So basically his early lane is just garbage. So like in the old days when people remember Ursa as a lane dominator, his Fury Swipes was 15 damage. He had like 320 movement speed, and he had 7 armor. So needless to say, they've kind of just gutted this hero's level 1, 2. So what that means is you need to play chill for level 1 and 2, which means you don't buy an Orb of Venom, okay? You just buy stat items, like most of their carries. You go like components of a Wraith Band, you finish the Wraith Band, potentially finish a Wand, and then you just fucking hit creeps, and you maybe trade a little bit, right? But that's it. And then you go potentially for the Ring of Health, right? But Orb of Venom, no.
This little hootenanny's in the doggone back.
Okay. So the issue here is that you left lane. Like you messed up the lane equilibrium here by dragging. So you drag the creeps with you, and then you missed a creep. So like as a carry, I just need you to manage the lane equilibrium. Hit this guy if he walks up. Manage the creeps if he doesn't. So you've drawn creep aggro twice now, which is going to push the lane really hard. And you also miss a creep for it. So this is like a nice trade in theory, but it's going to make the lane no longer be near your tower, which is not good. That's not a good trade. I know you said laning is cringe, but carry is super fundamental, man. Just keep the lane right in front of your tower, unless there's something you do that like has to be done. So like this is just so much trading. This is just like such unfundamental carry play. Now you've got 8 creeps being pushed into you. It's like now I need you to push the lane back out instead of helping. I mean, this kind of tells me you're gonna play this way. You know, you bought some insanely aggressive item when I just want you to chill and hit creeps. Yeah, I mean, you told me laning was cringe. I just feel like all I need you to do is focus on keeping the lane right here. If the lane's pushing out, you try to deny creeps. If the lane's pushing into you, you hit enemy creeps. That's all I need you guys to do, guys. Dota is just such a fundamental game, guys. I don't care about any of this fucking shit. Just keep the lane in front of your tower, and if somebody gets in your way, hit them. You know what I mean? Like, if the Pango is doing something in regards to the creeps that makes you have to hit him, then hit him. Otherwise, just don't hit him. And you can get out of this bracket.
The twin shall not thirst for long.
It becomes more complicated than that when the other people are also focused on these things. And so if you do these things, it's just not enough, right? But like, you guys are just ignoring creeps, ignoring lane equilibrium. And obviously everyone else in your bracket does too. So that's why you're here. And it doesn't actually make us like lose the lane, but it makes it so we don't win the lane, either. Okay, so you're going to walk over and get Ring of Health. Yeah, I mean, I just want you to have Wraith Band Wand sitting, trading in creeps. But you're actually, like, fighting them a lot. You're against 2 melees, so I would just level this. I wouldn't really worry about gap closing on them. I would just level this, and if they walk up to me, hit them. So, all that matters in the laning stage is whoever controls where the creeps are. That's all that matters. It's like, if I'm a melee hero and I'm allowed to sit on top of creeps, and that's like, if they walk up to me, they have to run away, I've won the lane, right? Because the objective in the game, like, you see how late game teams will, like, try to control Roche and stuff. and they win the game by doing that, if you stand on top of the creep wave, you are controlling the objective for the first 6 minutes of the game or whatever. So I feel like you're chasing away from the creeps insanely often. You're buying a kill item and a regen item at the same time, which makes like no sense, right? Like if I go Orb of Venom on carries, I would probably prefer to go like Boots into Orb of Corrosion or, you know, something like that. That's like the way I intend to play the lane. So yeah, I mean, you said laning's cringe, but like this is just so off.
Don't get confused.
So like if I watch you guys play carry, I mean, this is just like the public service announcement, right? I need your sole focus to keep the lane in front of your tower. I need every creep aggro move you make, every aggressive move you make, every time you hit enemy creeps, every time you hit allied creeps. It just needs to be with the goal of keeping it right in front of your tower. That's like all I need you to do. That is literally all I need you guys to fucking do. And I would need to watch your game and see that you're trying to do that. The thing is, I don't expect your application to be perfect. I don't expect you guys to just like fucking nail this shit. I want it to look like it fucking matters to you. Does that make sense? I just wanted it to look like it fucking matters. Like, it doesn't look like it fucking matters to any of you. Like, this is all just distractions. Just literally just sit on top of the fucking creep wave, and unless they make you leave the creep wave, just fucking hit the creeps. That's all I need. It's like, if I see you on top of the creep wave, and then Pengo walks up to you, and then you hit him and draw creep aggro, that's reasonable. Like, that makes sense to me, because you're controlling the creep wave. Now, it may sound like I'm very angry at you, but it's literally everybody. Just make it a priority, people. Fuck. It's not that hard. It's actually not that hard. I don't care if you guys fucking suck at it. Like, I don't care if you fucking suck. Just do it. Oh my goodness. None of you do it. And you're all like, but BSJ, why am I stuck? I mean, you didn't do that, but...
As to which target needs killing. Really?
Okay, we just need to control the creeps. I don't care about any of this shit. We can worry about trading and kills when we're fucking like 2k MMR at least. Okay, we need to push the lane out because there's a bunch of enemy creeps. Just push the lane out. Why are we hitting heroes? I need you to push the lane out. Stop hitting heroes. Push the lane out. This is such a waste and a bad trade because there's more creeps than you have. All I need you to do is look at how many creeps you have and look at how many creeps they have and keep it equal. That's all I need you to do. You have more creeps than they do, try to deny some. They have more creeps than you hit them. That's all I need you to do. That's all I need you to fucking do. That's all I need you to fucking do! Sorry, my neighbors are probably wondering what the fuck is happening. Okay, more enemy creeps than we have, so we gotta make sure we kill them off as soon as possible. Want to hit creeps that are not... Yep, nice, very good. Okay, now the lane's equal, so we just want to keep it here. No, we're gonna hit it forward, and that makes no sense. Okay, we're gonna hit it... Okay, it's now pushing into us a little bit. Well, this is actually reasonable, because the lane was perfectly equal. Did you guys see that? So notice how the lane is perfectly equal right now. And when you return to it, you didn't miss any creeps. You're going to go back and deny, and then the lane is going to sit here. And now since the lane is slightly pushing, you're going to aggro. You're going to aggro mid laner right now. You're going to aggro this guy. You know, you're going to A-click this guy and drag to your range. Wow. No, we're just going to push the wave. I guess you intend to jungle. That's the only reason you would do this. If you do this, the only intent is that you plan to jungle after this next creep wave. Which looks like that's what you're doing. Okay. Okay. So you don't want to stack Azure, so this hero doesn't farm stacks. Okay. So now we're going to clear these creeps, and then we're going to clear them, because we want to jungle. That's what you showed me. Please hit creeps. Please hit creeps. Please stop sitting here. Please hit it at creeps.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Please hit them. Please stop wasting time. Please hit them. Please hit them.
Radiant's bottom tower is in danger.
For the twins.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yes! 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 Holy shit, he did it. A minute late, but he fucking did it. Let's fucking go. Okay, we're gonna clear this creep camp. We're gonna try to stack it. Okay, we stacked it.
Should look to their middle tower.
Haste!
Okay, we're gonna push it out and go farm big camp. Beautiful. Okay. 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 Gonna go on this guy because we're level 8 and he's level 5. Very good.
Get back.
We're gonna push this out and go to the jungle camp because it's almost 11 minutes. Fantastic, you're hitting. Nice, this is great. This is fucking fantastic. I wouldn't do this better myself. Let's fucking go. Now we're gonna go jungle. We're gonna hit the small creeps first because we don't want that guy to summon skellies. Oh no, we made him summon skellies. Okay. We're gonna go back. So we saw 2 heroes top. Pango's level 6, so we're gonna back off. Very good. Very good. I mean, now he's like asking for it. I don't know about that ult, but it is what it is. Okay, so here's what happened here. You already ulted, and your Kunkka completely wasted boat. So we're just done here. You know? We're just done here. No need to chase anymore. The second I see this random ass fucking boat, we're done here. Okay? We're just done here. Go hit some creeps. Okay? Like, consider it a whiff. Okay? Just consider it a whiff. Go back and hit these creeps. This is making me nervous. Obviously, there's a pause now, but this is making me real nervous. Let's just go back to jungle creeps. Very good. Okay, then we're gonna jungle. This is fantastic. Now we're gonna run towards mid. We don't have to like go farm mid, but when I say run, I mean farm. We're gonna farm towards mid because there's a bunch of heroes top. Okay, they left, so you can actually go back top. This is good. This is actually very good. This is above 800 MMR. This is fantastic. Very happy here. We're gonna go clear the wave. Please go clear the wave. You gotta stack this camp first? Oh, I mean, if you're gonna do this, you gotta stack the camp, right? Otherwise, go farm the creep wave. Gotta prioritize creep waves first, if possible, right? So a little bit of inefficiency there. So what happens here is if you went creep wave, then jungle camp, your farming pattern would be a straight line. But because you went jungle camp, then creep wave, and then you're running back here with no jungle camp, you're effectively crossing this area twice. Okay? Oh, you know what? This is gonna go in the example! We literally have a video for this. Don't you fucking worry, my friend. You're now being made an example of, which is fantastic. Splintering your farming patterns. So fucking beautiful. I appreciate how bad you guys are so that I have plenty of examples. There's so perfect. Absolutely fucking perfect. Absolutely fucking beautiful. Okay, we got Battle Fury. So we've now double backed a 3rd time. Now we're gonna start our straight line farming pattern. Back to the jungle we go. Oh, we're gonna. I'm okay with this actually. I'm okay with that. Now you're gonna run back to top. Okay. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down with this. This is good. You're not a tower hitter. Don't do this. Don't do this. I don't care that you killed this guy. Don't do this. This is nuts. Don't do this. No. Just stick to the plan, dude. Push the creep wave in until you have like fucking unkillable items. Like until you are absolutely unfucking killable. Don't do this, okay? Just the only reason this works is because the opponent's trash. Just don't do this, okay? You're gonna finish this creep wave. You're not a tower hitter. I just need you to go back to the creeps. Like if you see this, right? Then sure, go to their ancients and take those creeps. You know what I mean? Like, take the more aggressive creeps, because you see all the heroes bottom. But don't do this, please. Just don't. This is making me nervous. So, with where you are, you should head to very aggressive creeps, because of what we see. What's happening here is you're being aggressive in terms of kills. I just want aggressive creeps. Just hit aggressive creeps. Just hit their ancients, if you feel this strong. Okay, so you're going to run back top and clear the wave. And you're gonna blink away. No. You already cleared these creeps. See how long that took you? It should have been clearing this camp and then, or clearing this wave and then blinking this way and running straight here. Just took you like an extra 10 seconds there. That's like 1 creep camp gone. I need you to use this to reposition on the minute. We talked about this in a lot of my replays. I'm going to emphasize it to you again. At the start of every minute, position yourself as aggressively as possible as time permits. So you have two choices here that are reasonable. You clear this creep camp, and then you go to the next one because you have 8 seconds. Like you can either go here to get more farm because there's still more creep camps to hit, or you can run left as fast as possible to start the minute as aggressive as possible. One of them plays for efficiency, and one of them plays for proper like aggression on the map. So literally the only thing you can do wrong here is have camps available, have time left over that allows you to advance on the map, and stand in one place. That is the only thing you can do wrong. Like, literally. Meaning, like, maybe in my bracket, there's a right answer. Meaning, like, maybe this option is strictly better. Or maybe this option is strictly better. But, like, I don't actually need you to do that perfectly correct. I need you to do one of the two things that is correct. Okay? Because that is just, like, always going to be correct. You're either spending the remaining minute advancing or farming. That's it. Okay? No standing around when there's creep camps or places ahead of you to walk to. So, like, I see all this going on here. I mean, it's like some weird replay bug, but if we look at the minimap, we see a bunch of heroes. You know, I would either go check the rune. It's like 18 minutes. You could go here. You could go here. You could go here. Or if you're, like, you know, really bad at aggression, you can farm these two camps. Like, I'm saying, you know, if you were to farm these two camps, I would probably say, like, that's a little bit overly passive. But, like, I wouldn't even, like, tell you that that's, like, garbage. It's just, like, it's so bad that you just stand here. This is so much valuable time. You could clear so much space. You could blink all the way to here, clear this wave. Sense of urgency. And then you show up to this fight. Okay. Let's go ahead and ask the Twitch chat. How do we know that this is a bad TP? How do we know, chat? Let's rewind. How do we know? How do we know, chat? There is a lot of farm for him before he TPs. Oh, that's just so beautiful. So if we had done this correctly, even if we didn't do it correctly, like we took 1752 and ran straight top, you literally have a creep wave and 6 jungle camps to hit. You have so many creeps, okay? And you're TPing. Guys, it's just one rule. How many creeps are there to hit? If there's a lot, you go hit them. If there's not, you go join fights. So what does this teach us, guys? What does this teach us? What this teaches us is that if we do shit like this, where we farm a creep wave, and then instead of, after we've already farmed this creep camp and this creep camp, which like he did, so he knows, and instead of blinking back to farm this immediately, right? Like you go there immediately, you're probably making it to that big camp at like 1738, right? Instead of doing that, where we walk in a circle, waste about 8 seconds, that you're literally never going to show up to fights if you do that. Because it's unacceptably inefficient bad farming, right? You're literally going to like gimp yourself from being able to ever go to a fight if you farm like that. So what are we learning, right? We are learning that if we want to properly show up to fights as carry, we actually have to farm faster. Is that nuts? Is that like fucking insane? So no, it's not. Your first priority as a carry is to first and foremost improve how fast you are farming. Like that extra 10 seconds you just wasted right there is huge. It's absolutely huge, right? It's huge. It's probably cost you 2 jungle camps first and foremost. But then on top of that, it's a new minute. There's new camps to farm. So if we couple the fact that we need to farm faster with the awareness of whether or not there are creeps near us to hit, we will show up to fights properly. That's all. Is there creeps to hit? Am I farming fast enough? That's it. It's really that simple. Is it that simple to get to a point where you're doing this properly? It's like, no, it's not that simple. But like these little things that you guys are doing where you're walking and wasting 10 seconds can totally be self-corrected. It's like, why did you waste 10 seconds there? Maybe you thought there was another creep wave coming. Maybe you forgot you farmed these 2 camps. Maybe, like, there could be all types of reasons. But whatever they are, learn from them and don't do it again, right? Like, that's it. So maybe if you thought there was another creep wave coming, maybe you need to do a little studying of, where the creep waves are at like what time, because they're the same every game. So you can just study that. That's probably like a 5-minute review, and you'd know it. For the future, for literally all of eternity. So I see a bunch of creeps. I see a creep wave that we should have advanced to and then farm backwards. So if you guys can do this, if you can minimize these little inefficiencies that you're doing, just understanding for yourself why you're doing them, okay? Like, what happened there? I just wasted 10 seconds. And then at the end of every minute, advancing. So instead of sitting there, you would have ran towards top lane. And then farming backwards. And then, when you're out of creeps, you show up to fights. If you guys can do that, God, none of you are going to be like sub 1K. None of you are even going to be sub 3K. Like, none of you. None of you. Like, it's actually those 3 things. That's all I need you to do. None of you do it. None of you. Every single one of you. I have to flame every single one of you. So we go back to farming. So, here's a little ping pong on the map. So, when a big fight occurs, what I need you to understand as a carry is that you're setting up the map for success. Okay? So what your farming patterns should do is be away from the opponent. Because if you're farming away from the opponent, then they are going to naturally chase you around the map, right? Not even, a lot of players probably won't even understand that they're chasing you. Like, they're farming, but they're trying to keep up with you. So if a bunch of heroes go bottom, and then you were bottom for whatever reason, and you go towards mid, you should then migrate to top. It's kind of like if you were farming top at 18 minutes, like you should have, and then 2 people TP'd top to defend. It would be to your benefit to farm away from top, and then most likely pop out this way, because the 2 people that TP top are now going to chase you to the other side of the map. So like in this case, you see this. If you were to farm top, the opponent would be chasing you there, right? So this is something where if you go somewhere, there were a bunch of heroes, whether it's this lane or this lane, and there's a bunch of enemy heroes there, and then you go to mid lane, please don't just go back. Please don't just do that. Don't do that. That's not good. That's a relatively high-level farming pattern, but it's pretty easily identifiable. So you should have gone to their ancients here. This is like overly fighting. I just want you to clear 20 creeps a minute. You would have taken both their ancients. You would have taken these 2 ancients here. And then pretty much all these camps. Instead, you got 2 kills and nothing off of it. It's not like you guys got a tower or Roche. Also, I said this at the very start of the replay, I will prioritize the Roche part of the map as Ursa every single time. If I see a bunch of heroes grouped up around bottom as Ursa and I want to fight or I feel strong, I'm never going towards them. Why would I chase them when I can just kill Roche? Why would I do that? Ask somebody to tank for you, buy yourself a Morbid Mask if that's what you absolutely need to get Roche. But like, if the enemy's dumb enough to be against Ursa, playing 4 heroes bottom, and you're not Roshing? Blech. They're literally handing you Roche, and you just left and walked towards them. So here's what happens, guys. Here's what happens. This is how we're going to wrap up the replay. Do you end up losing? I actually don't know. I assume you lose. Oh, you don't. It's fine. The way you're playing, where you're ignoring creeps, you're ignoring the crucial objective for Ursa, which is Roche. You're not actually making the opponent chase you around the map or anything like that. You're ignoring creeps and going to fights. This is exactly how you guys end up beyond godlike, coming to me in my stream, in my chat, saying, BSJ, I was 19-2 today, and my team was so fucking dog shit I couldn't carry them. This is what it looks like every single time. You guys just ignore creeps. You ignore, like, smart map movements. You just run at the enemy team and kill them because you're a hero that kills them, okay? Like, Ursa's very good at killing people. I understand that. But that's exactly how you end up, beyond godlike, losing the game, okay? Like, obviously you end up winning this one. But, like, doing what I'm telling you to do is going to win you games. Doing what you're doing will net you a lot of kills. Which does not win games. So, that's it for that replay. Hope you learned something. Thanks for signing up. Any girls in chat that want to be Jordan Dota's girlfriend? Anybody? Jordan Dota? He's single. He's asking. He's putting himself out there. Anybody? Anybody in chat? Any girls in chat that want to be his girlfriend? Oh, there you go, Jordan Dota. Hit C Brandell 1 up in the DMs. Not a girl, but I'm willing to give it a shot. There you go. So you got some takers. Good. Good. I'm sure there are plenty of eligible bachelorettes in the chat. Very good. Very good. Very good stuff, guys. Very good stuff. Okay. I guess I'll just make a brief video on this so it can be a reference. Because I feel like I talk about it a lot. I feel like I've made videos about it, but I haven't specifically made a video. Like, I've had videos that included it, but I haven't made videos specifically about it. What is this jug replay ID? 67449374006. Top wave jug. Goes to fight mid. And then the Ursa replay, which is 67462600967. Ursa, 18 minutes. Okay. I can actually make a video off of those two replays alone. That's like ample examples. Okay, I'll look for how to do it correctly. Sure. I mean, I'll just use one of my own replays. How to do correctly. Need one example. I'll just look for an example from today's stream, maybe. I mean, it's like something high MMR players just do, so I could literally look at my replays, anybody's replays, but yeah, I'll find one. Okay. Cookies content? Oh, did he make a challenge for getting 900 GPM? I could honestly make a fundamentals video on that. You know what? That's in my next fundamentals video. That's a good idea. Fundamentals, private lobby, 900 GPM, stages of game. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I mean, that's something I've recommended to people in the past, so 1 laning, 2 starting to incorporate jungle, 3 okay. Yeah. 900 CS. I see. 900 CS, 30 minutes. Sure. Will you play by yourself? If you mean playing pubs, Monday morning streams are always replays. I will be back after this next replay. I'll be getting off, but I will be back in about 5 hours from now with pubs. So every Monday morning and Wednesday morning stream are just replays. Okay. Got ourselves a new replay. This is a carry 4100. Wynn's teaching Grubby. I reached out to Grubby. Looks like he's going to be finishing his A to Z, and then he said he might be down for some coaching in the future, basically. So we'll see. I have extended the olive branch, you know. If he decides he wants it, I'm more than happy to coach him. It's also one of those things where it's like, he's a bigger streamer than me, so in regards to streaming, I benefit from it more, but I think if he wants to prioritize, you know, getting really good at Dota, then I would teach him in that regard. So it just depends. I know what I'm getting out of it. Just depends if he knows, or not if he knows, but if he wants what I would offer out of it. Okay. We got ourselves a 4.1k Morphling replay. Need to actually copy paste this. Says, thank you for the last replay review. I really enjoyed it. Even though it was a really bad replay, I think it was a mix of me getting baited by your Midas video and just trying something new. When that is said, you really opened my eyes on thinking more and more about creep lanes and where to get it right in the lane. Just in general, last replay helped me a lot remembering to think about my decisions during the game. I think the lane was a little hard this game, and I was not feeling Ogre was helping me in lane all that much. But I might be mistaken, because I felt the lane was hard to farm. I was playing very passively. Mid-game, I focused on farming and didn't really join many fights. I know I'm supposed to be farming and try to join the fights, or right fights when they appear. Also, I'm not sure if I was too useless mid-game. I really felt like I didn't do much, and if you have any thoughts on how I should have played it out differently, please tell me. My team was doing really well, and maybe that was the reason I didn't do much mid-game. Any thoughts on laning stage of mid-game would be appreciated. Sure. Okay.
With utter certainty.
30 seconds and counting.
You're against Witch Doctor or CM Mars. Okay, CM Mars. That's a pretty annoying lane. Okay. Nice, you're doing a good job keeping it in some. If you could, No, I think this is fine. Yeah, definitely a lane we have to buy wand as soon as possible. You've already got the gold for it, and we're still waiting for you to buy it. So not ideal there. Yeah. I think this lane's just naturally going to be a bit difficult for you. I probably would have taken Adaptive Strike in this lane. I guess I don't play much safe lane Morphling myself, but I feel like it'd be very difficult to get range creeps in this lane. Against like 2 punishing nukes and an Ogre who doesn't really secure range for me. So I think I would have leveled this to get range, like almost certainly.
Is short. Use it wisely.
It's definitely a really nice raindrops lane. I would have tried to buy raindrops like as close to 3 minutes as possible. Notice how you're not using waveform at all. this entire lane. I honestly don't think it should ever feel good with the way the lane's playing out for you to waveform in. So you're effectively just sitting on full mana, which is like not good. I feel like you probably could have got an extra 3 or 4 CS, even just harassed the Mars with Adaptive Strike. So like what's happening here is that they're trading a bunch with you and Ogre, and they're casting spells to do it. And so the goal of buying Stick is that it allows you to fight back. Like, that's what Stick is for. It allows you to fight back, or on, like, a hero like Jug, it allows you to sustain because you turn mana into HP, right? So, the fact that you bought a Stick in a lane where the opponent's casting a ton of spells, but then didn't consider, like, how you fight back is a problem. It's like, if you planned at some point in this lane to waveform on top of them, great, you know? Then waveform on top of them here, spend your mana, because you could just stick right now, get the HP, and also get your mana back from the waveform. But you're just sitting here effectively wasting 1.8 mana regen, because you're literally sitting on full mana. Just got 2 range creeps denied in front of your face. You know, the thing about 4Ks is that, like, I saw a lot of good fundamental things coming out from your gameplay, right? Like, I already saw, like, good mechanics that I just got done watching, like, 3 lower MMR replays, and I was like, oh yeah, I can immediately tell this guy's better than them, okay? But the thing is, you guys just have, like, no flow, you know? Like, there's no, like, adjustment to the game. There's no, like, creative solutions to problems. It's literally just level the same skills, buy the same items, go through the motions, and do it pretty fast. So the fact that you are seeing, for the last 2 minutes, that you are sitting on full mana with 10 stick charges, not getting range creeps, and you still didn't level Adaptive Strike at 4, right? What does it take? You know? Like, you just have to ask yourself in your head, like, what does it take for me to recognize what is currently happening to me and adjust to it? Because that's what makes you 4K, is there's literally no adjustment whatsoever to what's happening in your games, right? So we need to be a little bit dynamic. We need to understand, like, this is what our abilities do. If I were to level Waveform, why would I level it? If I were to level Adaptive Strike, why would I level it? If I were to max out my Attribute Shift, why, right? Understanding what your abilities do. Not specifically, this Adaptive Strike is 50 mana and does 90 damage. It's not like that. It's what in the game does this ability do? Right? So it's like, when would I use Waveform in lane? So it's like, if you're like getting pelted by spells and you don't feel a time where it's ever good to go in, then Waveform is purely an escape spell, right? Like, that's what it would be. So then you have to ask yourself, does spending 130 mana to escape feel good? And the answer is like, well, no, but some lanes you absolutely need it. It's like, specifically, if you're against something like Viper and he's got 4 poison stacks on you, you could be like, I would use Waveform when he's got 4 stacks on me because he's already spent 100 mana applying those stacks anyways. You know what I mean? And I'm going to break the 5th one, which is going to do a lot of damage. But this is the kind of stuff where, you know, I can tell you don't think clearly about when you're going to use your spells, because based on what I saw, I don't even play much Morph, is that, like, you know, level 3, I was like, I can't really imagine when he's going to Waveform here. Like, it would have even been reasonable to take Adaptive Strike at level 3, you know? But, like, for me, I'm like, okay, maybe he just autopilots leveling Attribute Shift because it gives you bonus stats and shit. But, like, you could, so I know this seems like so nitpicky to a lot of viewers that you're not leveling this skill, but I can tell you as a 4K player that I see so much oversight in your gameplay by not leveling this. It tells me you have literally zero awareness of what is currently happening to you in the lane. Okay? So that's what I need you to see.
Illusion! Opponent!
You're against Zeus. I mean, you should have died to Zeus ulti there. You definitely need raindrops. You need raindrops against the lane you're against. Raindrops are just really good on Morph in general. Low HP pool. Make sure he doesn't want to get clipped by spells when he's attribute shifting. You should be so fucking careful. You're just against Zeus and you're constantly morphing down to low HP. I mean, you should die like a 5th time here. Okay, Zeus ulted. The fact that you have no raindrops, dude, like, I'm telling you, dude, this is exactly what makes you 4K. You just need to hear me. You know, you said you got a lot out of your last replay. Like, I am seeing specific things happening in your game, and you're just like, you're just fucking chilling. You're just playing this game as normal, you know? It's totally fine that I have no way to get these range creeps. It's totally fine that I'm against Zeus and I'm morphing down to 0 HP. It's like, holy fuck, you know? It's like, dude, you're like the guy, you're like that dog in the fucking meme where, like, his house is burning and he's like, this is fine, and he's just, like, living his life as normal, you know? He has, like, his coffee and he's just sitting at the breakfast table. That's you. Like, everything's going wrong and you're just like, this is fine. Fucking chill. Being chillin'. It's like, no. That's not, everything's not fine. You've been at less than 200 HP against Zeus like 6 times since he leveled his ult.
Masterfully denied.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's
take that
bottom
as
tower
tribute.
is under attack. Bottom tower
Oh, we got raindrops. Nice.
Execution.
Let's fucking go.
is under attack.
I think the Zeus had to ult for you to buy those raindrops. You're like, oh shit, there's a Zeus in this game.
Regeneration.
Okay.
Radiant's bottom tower is in danger. To the Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is in danger. Radiant's bottom tower is in danger. Bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower
Interesting.
is under attack.
Okay. So you stayed top. I mean, you're on Dire, so it's better to stay top. Use that Arcane Ring, dog. I feel like this is a really nice game to level your ult, is it not? Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like Zeus is a really nice ult target. Anybody who has more mobility spells.
There is little hope for Dire's middle tower. Dire's middle tower is under attack. There is little hope.
I don't know that for sure, though, because I haven't played Morph this patch.
Fortified their structures against attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Behold.
Okay, so reasonable farming patterns. You're just, you know, your team is winning the map. I mean, if you're Dire, this bottom tower is dead, and this tower is alive, and you're just farming this jungle. I mean, it's the fucking dream. You don't have to do anything. Like, you should be paying attention to what's happening in this lane. Maybe you can participate. You looked at a fight right here. Like, yes, you're up by 5k. You're fucking big chillin', dude. Like, there's nothing that needs to happen here. Like, you're asking if you should have done more. If I see this state of the map where this tower's dead, this tower's alive, and we're allowed to farm these camps with nothing happening, yeah, I mean, that's the fucking dream. I'll do it every fucking game.
There is little
That is the fucking dream.
to their bottom tower.
Gonna go push out the wave and hit the tower. Yeah, Morphling is a great tower hitter, so we should definitely apply pressure on this tower. Fantastic. Okay.
Radiant should look to their top tower.
Invisibility.
Yeah, I mean, you're being pretty active. Showing for this fight. Yeah, great. Yeah, this is a good Morphling gameplay. Morphling's a pretty high pressure carry when you're winning, so this is good. I mean, it's like a pretty easy game to do it since you're up by a lot, but the fact that you're doing it is good. Okay, you're gonna go for... I mean, they have literally no disables. You should be more invasive. So when you get these kills, so it's okay if you want to chase here, but I would be thinking they're triangle. So like, they just have no stuns, right? So I would be in their triangle here. I feel like anything that's not their triangle from this point is overly passive. You just killed their offlaner, one of their supports is dead. Yeah, you should totally clear this wave and walk into their triangle. You're just so fucking strong. You would rather be top in any case if you're winning as Dire, because that's where Roche is, the better jungles here. So unless you can't play top, then you don't. I mean, Morphling's a great carry if you're winning early game to play the opponent's triangle, because, I mean, obviously if they have an easy way to kill you, like say they had the Skywrath Mage and you don't have Manta yet, obviously, like, don't go into their triangle. But they have no way to reliably stop you from morphing and shit. So just walk into their triangle. Instead, you, like, retreat to your own triangle. Unnecessary passivity, I think, here. This could have just been their triangle. Okay, I mean, they just walked into you guys and died.
Look to their top tower.
Don't know why you don't have a TP. Is your courier dead or some shit? You haven't had a TP for like a really long time. You definitely should have walked top and then cleared top wave, but instead you went here and then walked really slow to top. Notice how you guys went Roche. You wanted to go push out top first. Notice how all this stuff is happening. So this is like the objective you guys wanted. This is where you wanted to play. You felt the need to clear this wave. That's what needs to be understood by you when you choose to go from here to here. All right, it's like if you thought about these things, you would know you would go top if possible. You're a platinum tier morphling. I can assure you, you were strong enough to like walk into their triangle and then go top. So you should do it, right? Because that's where you want to play, and you can do whatever the fuck you want because you guys are winning.
The ultimate sacrifice.
So yeah, in this cabal, we just want to control top and mid, take their ancients at all costs. Yeah, I mean, obviously if they fight us, they fight us. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, straightforward from here. Pretty stompy. Okay. Yeah, man. So, looks like you play a lot of Morph. If you want to get above 4K, you're gonna just have to adjust, man. You're gonna have to adjust from game to game. Obviously, 404 is the ideal build, you know? Max stats from attribute shift, max waveform is great for farming. I get that. You know, a lot of 4K players are very good at recognizing the ideal build. You know, this is the build I would go in a perfect game. Like, I'm living the fucking free farm dream. If I got to level exactly what I wanted to level on whatever hero I'm playing, this is what I would level. A lot of you guys understand that perfectly. Like, honestly, that is a very 4K thing, you know? In an ideal scenario, I know exactly what I'm supposed to do, right? But that's not how Dota works, right? Eventually you hit this threshold where people actually stop giving you the ideal game, you know? They stop allowing you to freely have that. And even though you guys are stomping this game, your laning opponents, they were applying a lot of pressure, right? They were constantly nuking you, pushing you away. I don't think Ogre did anything particularly bad. I mean, I watched it from your perspective. I didn't really look at his. Like, maybe he wasn't the most helpful, but he didn't, like, ruin the lane, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's more so, like, I want you, rather than to think, like, this Ogre isn't helping. Like, I mean, maybe you were thinking about it in a positive way, right? Meaning, like, you weren't flaming him. You were just like, yeah, this guy didn't really feel like he was doing much. Well, it's like, if you're in a passive lane where you can't really contest the opponent very well, you know, what would you level? You know, how would you play the lane? And it's like, in my eyes, it's like, I would level Adaptive Strike to defensively secure range creeps. Right? The thing about Morph that makes him strong against Mars, specifically, is that Mars usually boots people out of lane at level 6, right? Heroes with, like, single volleys of spells that boot people out of lane because they just kill you, Morph's really good against these heroes. He's, like, really good against them, right? Because you don't actually get booted out of lane. So what I always recognize on a hero like Morph in these type of lanes is that he's like an impending doom clock, right? Is like eventually, when you get level 5, when you get level 7, they're never booting you out of lane. Like, you are not getting shoved out of lane. So you're kind of like in survival mode, you know, until then. Like, anything you do prior to like level 5 or level 7 is for the lane, right? It's like, let's just make sure that we get out of this lane as best as possible. Anything that's not the ideal skill build, which on whatever hero you're playing, on Morphling in this case it's 404, is something that you assessed that you needed to do better at the current moment in the game, right? It's like, level 2, it was probably ideal that you leveled Adaptive Strike to get some range creeps. But then, like, after that, you weren't really wanting to use Adaptive Strike, so it's not worth maxing, right? It's not worth putting more than 1 point Adaptive Strike. It was just for range creeps, right? So then you'd go back for, like, the 414, potentially. But the idea is that, like, you have your ideal skill build, you have your ideal items you want to buy, and anything you level before then, or you buy before then, is, like, an assessment of, I need this. You know, you want Morbid Mask, you want full treads, you want, like, jungling items, but you're against Zeus and 2 nukes in your lane. You need to go fucking raindrops, right? You have to go raindrops at like minute 3, pretty much, right? Fortunately, you morphed down to low HP and never got Zeus ulted. The game would have definitely been upside down if you got ulted twice or something. But yeah, man, that's what makes you 4K. It's actually not too complicated in the sense that, like, I think a lot of the things you're doing are correct. But it's just the lack of adjustments, man. It's like, I want you to rewire your thinking to, like, the ideal build. You know, I have to be allowed to go it, right? I have to think, like, is there a reason I would need these other spells or these other items? And these slight adjustments will play a huge role in you gaining MMR. Oh, and then the last thing is just like whenever you are in the game and you're winning, think about the next objective for you guys, and that should drastically affect the way you play, right? It's like if your next objective is in the top half of the map, which is like Roche usually, then you know you should be playing there unless the opponent brings so many heroes that you can't. You know, whether you're winning or losing, you know, make the opponent make you not play there because that's what you want to do. Usually when you're losing, you'll think what the opponent's objective is. And if you're like a tower defending carry, like Dawnbreaker, for instance, you'd usually put yourself near that objective and like defend it. If you're a hero like Morphling who doesn't defend objectives and you think the opponent's objective is top tower, then you would go bottom. The point is like, you have to think, what's their objective? Do I plan to participate in this in any way? And if the answer is yes, you go towards that objective. If the answer is no, you go away from it. A lot of 4K players, you guys just don't think about objectives. Like, yes, you're aware that Roche is important. Yes, you're aware that, like, people are pushing towers and you should be near them sometimes and stuff like that. But you're not in a constant state of what's the next objective. You know, you guys don't think that way, period. Like, nobody in the 4K bracket, if I asked them at every single moment in the game what the objective is, they wouldn't. Maybe they would know the answer. That's actually probably true. They'd probably know the answer. But they wouldn't, honest to God, be thinking about it. They wouldn't be like, they would not snap answer. You know, you ask me, I'd say Roche, tower, defending that. Because, like, I'm already thinking that, right? But you guys definitely don't. So that's what I need you to wire your brain to do. Make slight adjustments based on what's happening in the game. So that's more like an awareness of what's happening to you. And then just be aware of what objective you're going for when you're winning and what objective the opponent's going for when they're winning. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for trying that, man. Pretty good replay, though. Pretty good example. Okay. BSJ, thanks for the helpful videos. You're the real master. I gained minus 200 MMR. I can't tell if that means, like, approximately. Is that a squiggle? It looks like a minus. So that means I don't know if you typoed or you're trolling me. Either one is good. Very good to hear. What's up, Nurok? How you doing, man? Is calling the water hero high pressure a pun? I can see that. It was unintended. But it makes sense. For somebody asking, I mean, I do have a schedule graphic coming out. I just don't have it yet. But what I'm saying is that every Monday and Wednesday morning, I will be streaming for maybe 2.5 hours. And it will only be replays. So the normal pub stream starts in about 4 hours. Do you think it's better to send in replays of good performance or bad performance? I mean, I think there's so many different replays that you can send in. I think there's merit to literally everything. Like, what if you sent in a replay where you thought you played like a god, but the game felt really hard? It's like, what if you sent in a replay where something went wrong, but you don't really know. What if you sent in a replay? Like, couldn't it be equally bad if you just sent in a replay that, like, you just fucking sucked, but you knew why you sucked? I mean, a lot of it's just like, how much do you not understand about that game? You thought you played well, but maybe you're missing something. You thought you played poorly, but you don't really understand why. That's really it. Absolutely. Nimalicious. I would say there's like tiers of objectives in Dota. You know, you consider like outposts, creep camps. Literally every single creep camp is an objective. Every single creep wave is an objective. So yeah, I mean, you absolutely tier them in your head. There's like one central objective that you're looking at. Usually like the big objective would be like a tower or Roche. But then like, so usually in my head, I'll have like the one core objective, like the big objective that either team is going to go for. And then I'll treat the camps and the waves as miniature objectives along the way. Ruins, also an objective. I mean, Dota's an incredibly objective-driven game. Yo, BSJ, thanks for teaching the Dota community. You're a fair part to blame for getting people better. Yeah, Nimalicious. That makes sense. Once you said I was on copium yesterday, I realized what you meant, because I rarely play the game. The anxiety was coming from me not knowing shit, because I forgot to so many small things from when I was playing when I was actually playing the game. Now I'm not scared anymore. Hell yeah, man, let's go. Can we get some claps in chat for 4J Zahu's self-awareness? Get some claps in the chat. Self-awareness is fucking powerful, man. That's awesome. Sounds like you gained some self-awareness. Good job, my friend. We really encourage and get excited about self-awareness in this channel. How can we be eligible to send in replays? It's on my Patreon. Something I have just started, though. I'll be announcing it like periodically throughout my stream. I'll show you guys. Let's see if anybody actually signed up yet. I doubt it, though. Yeah. So what happens is now I'm doing like I'm trying to make some new content, seeing how it goes. So if you join my Discord and you are a member of the Patreon or a Twitch subscriber, either one, you will be able to access this channel. So my Discord, !Discord in chat. And there is a team fight clip submission. So the goal of this channel is that you can submit a team fight clip. I literally added the channel yesterday. That would allow you to be like, hey, BSJ, at 35-40, I was playing Disruptor, and I don't know what I did wrong in this team fight. And I would watch it, and it'll be a part of YouTube videos. So if you are a Twitch subscriber or a Patreon member, this is accessible to you. My goal is hopefully that my viewers will help me create content for team fights. Because as of right now, I don't have much, and it's very difficult to make team fight clips. So if you guys are subscribers, definitely check out the Discord. If you're not a subscriber and that interests you, fantastic. How do you farm fast as a carry if you have a hard lane and your teammates are stealing your farm? Well, you probably don't farm fast. I mean, fast is all relative. It's like, how fast can you farm, right? A Crawley, thanks for the 3 months. And Rather Good Mud, thanks for the Prime. How's improving your own coaching skills coming along? I think it's getting better. I mean, the thing about improvement, I mean, this is going to seem so simple to a lot of you probably. You know, people always say it's always about like the long run. It's not about like it's all about the small things, you know? People say that. And a lot of people in my chat are probably thinking that we're referring to your penis, but we're not actually that, you know, petty. What we're actually talking about is just like constant small growth, you know? Not your penis. We're talking about making it so that over time you slowly but surely recognize what you're doing wrong and you improve on it bit by bit, right? So what I feel like with my coaching is I'm trying to do a better job of, oh, this could be a video. Or like, oh, this has come up a bunch of times. I must be teaching people incorrectly, or I must be ignoring this subject. Or, you know, I'm very aware that I can be hostile sometimes or condescending. So I'm just trying to be aware of times where I am being condescending. Obviously, there's times where it's fun to like roast the viewer for content, but there's also times that I've done it where it's just like completely unnecessary, you know? So yeah, I mean, just little things like that, I'm still trying to improve. And I feel like every day I do coach, I get a little bit better. Not a lot, but a little bit. And that's all that matters. So, that's all that matters. Cool and also good. Talking about all my subscribers there. Thank you for the sub. Yo, tell me if you coach supports. Yeah, man. I coach supports. I would say if I had to guess about people that sign up for coaching or replays, it's probably like 60% carries, 20% mids, and then like 10% supports and 10% offlane. I think I'm perfectly fine at coaching supports. Like, I think I have a really good macro sense of the game. I just, you know, I don't play a ton of support, and I don't have a lot of support sign up. If you're a support, if you want to learn about the mindset aspect of supporting, we talk a lot about it with my coachee that comes in every Wednesday at 8:30 Europe time, Central European time. She's great. She's 6,300 MMR, and she comes in and we talk about supporting. So, hey, I'm an asshole too. Where's my money? If you knew there was a legit school for esports, would you send your child there? Think about it. Like most kids go to. Yeah. I'd consider it. Probably not too far-fetched in the future. Honestly, if I become like a billionaire, or not a billionaire, but enough of a... if I become wealthy enough that I could create something like that, I think I would. You are a cool and good streamer, and this is a cool and good chat. Hell yeah, man. By the way, guys, just, you know, keep your manga S's out. I have recently, maybe the last week or two, assessed that my chat devolves into some serious shit sometimes. If you are the ones stirring up this shit, there will be no mercy. You will be X'd. Okay? You know, subs will get like one warning, and I'll remember you. And then that's it. Okay? Define shit. Dude, you know, it's like, you know how they say common sense ain't so common? It's like, you know it, you know? Like, did you do something that caused the chat to turn into a cesspool of idiocy? And if you did, then that's the shit, right? That's the shit we're talking about. Do Patreon members get one warning too? It's hard to know who's the Patreon members. No, the thing is that I would say half the time or more, you know, give or take, my chat's like really solid. Like, I'm talking to you guys right now. I'm smiling. I'm enjoying your interaction. And then precisely, or not precisely, but usually when I play pubs and my games are going rough, you know, I try to be more positive, but I definitely have to work on it. But in general, my chat just gets really bad. There's like a combination of like people flaming me and then people white knighting for me and then people like I mean, it definitely has something to do with me as a streamer, right? Which I'm going to work on myself, but it also has to do with the fact that like I allow this shit. Like I just can't allow this shit. So, I feel like 50 to 75% of the time my chat's like A-okay. I really enjoy hanging out with you guys. But it's not like the other 25% or whatever is like not enjoyable. It's literally trash. Like it's actual fucking dog shit. Like it like I look at chat and I'm just like ashamed that that's my chat. So, we're and I think it's usually just 2 or 3 people that start it. Like it's not like everybody in chat sucks. It's like 2 or 3 people enabling this garbage. So I'm just going to I'm gonna be banning those 2 or 3 people. Okay. No. Other streamers do not ignore people who ruin their chat. They definitely don't. That's the problem. A lot of streamers in general are chill, more chill than me, and that's something I need to work on. Like I've kind of already mentioned that. But like I've noticed that other streamers do not tolerate people who ruin their chat environment. They just don't. They don't put up with it. So I'm not going to either. Thank you, Henry. Does anyone in chat want to buy me a Secret Lab chair? Yeah, anybody got some money hanging around for that guy ZA95? Really respect your content, but do you really believe the value of Midas as in your video? And Dota buff Midas has above 50% on just one hero, and I really believe it's the worst items in Dota. For a 2K, it's extremely self-gaining. So, yeah, I think Midas is a good item in a lot of games. I mean, the thing is, you consider Midas to be a low win rate item is like the same thing as like Rapier being a high win rate item. Like, I will only buy Midas if my game sucks. So if I'm buying Midas in hard games, then the item's naturally going to have a less than 50% win rate. You know what I mean? Yeah. What's the ideal number of times a young single man should whack off per week? Probably 3 or 4. I have a Secret Lab chair pretty hard, but it's even better than those stupid set. I mean, I actually like my Secret Lab chair. No cap. One time I got permabanned by typing Dota Frogs GTFO when this Dota streamer was playing Variety. Would you do the same? No, I probably wouldn't. I mean, I definitely wouldn't perma you for that. I might be like, hey guys, chill on the that kind of stuff, but I wouldn't perma you for that. I feel like you're putting too much energy on people too much when in reality you can just nonchalantly ban people. Oh, absolutely. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm gonna ban them, and I'm gonna make my best adjustment to not really acknowledge them when I do it. You are correct. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah. I mean, statistics can be misleading, right? Statistics are obviously helpful, but they can be misleading. Do you think you would have more fun playing Dota if you were good? Did I understand correctly that you're moving back to NA? No. I go back to NA a few months of the year. I'm not moving back anytime soon. I'm here for at least another year. It doesn't have to do with being survivable or not, Kuro, Uka. It just depends on how much damage your hero does to the tower. Like, Morphling is a very high damage hero to towers. And he's survivable, and he's slow. Which means that if he's pushing the creep wave, it's probably to his benefit on average to hit the tower. What if I jack off 3 or 4 times per day? I mean, there's just a lot of negatives, I believe, to jacking off too much. I mean, I don't really want to go into it right now. Isn't the item win rate on Dota buff taken from what items you have at the end of the game? Yes, it does. Have you ever had any replay review or coaching about Willow? No, I don't think so. Do you have a Visage guide? I do not. I've recently, in the last 3 months, stopped griefing, being toxic and flaming. I'm enjoying the game a lot more, but I still get tilted and it ruins my ability to focus. Any advice? My advice is to do exactly what I did, which is become more and more self-aware of why I'm tilted. I just ask myself why I'm tilted. I ask myself why I'm tilted and what I can do about it. If it's a thing that I can't do anything about, then I just learn to accept it and adjust rather than try to do anything. If you're getting tilted, there's something you're doing that could be controlled. Everyone's different, though. Tell me you taught so many guys, and I wonder, is there an algorithm behind KMMR player? There's tendencies, for sure, of each MMR. How to push waves of carry when the enemy's not showing? If the enemy's not showing, then you have to wait near the wave that you would push. And once they show, push the wave. Can you talk about the future of Arkosh? I'm under the impression Slacks is going to manage a new Arkosh, and I'm likely going to be doing something else. But there's possibilities there. Review is done for the day. I'm just hanging out with you guys. I'm going to be leaving in like 3 or 4 minutes. My normal stream for pubs starts in 4 hours. So I'll be back for that. Do you find Jenkins sexually attractive? Of course. If Arkosh is no more, will you become the new carry for Liquid after Matu leaves? I wish. I review other people's replays, Nana, Seba. You can definitely watch the VOD. It's pretty much all replays if you want to watch it after. The MMR and roll are at the top right for whatever interests you. What do you do in the break between streams? Work out, eat lunch, random errands, things I have to do. And then I come back. When will you do Jenkins replay analysis? Sorry, I don't analyze heralds. Have a great day, BSJ. Thank you, Henry. Have a good night. Are there any... Would you 69 Jenkins? IRL or hypothetically? If you could be any man's penis in the world, who would you be and why? Probably Brad Pitt. He probably gets mad celebrity stuff. Enjoy your day, BSJ. It's kind of sunny. Yeah, it looks pretty nice out. It's actually been chilly the last few days. I mean, it was raining when I went and got a coffee earlier. But looks nice out. I mean, I have to wear my raincoat. I mean, I don't play Morphling, to be honest. I've been seeing a lot of Morphlings rush Lincolns, though. Like when Yatoro and Pure played it against me, they rushed Lincolns. So it was in this game. This is Pure. Wait, no. I guess I'm thinking of a different game. Okay, so he went Falcon Blade, no Dragonlance. And then when I played Sven was the Lincoln's Rush. I must be mistaken. Oops.
This form suits my...
Sven stands ready.
Yeah, this is Yatoro. He went like this. And this was like incredibly hard to play against. I mean, at the end of the day, what makes Morphling strong and what always has made him strong is that he can sit in his own safe lane and not get booted out. So if your goal with your items is to do that and it's achievable, you win games. I feel like Morphling's a pretty useless hero if he doesn't do that. I feel like if Morphling can't sit in his lane and survive and defend his tower because he's ungankable, then the hero's pretty useless. Every game I've lost to Morph is when they keep their safe lane tower alive, and then we just lose everything. That's how I feel about Morph. I mean, all I'm saying about your early game items is your goal should be to sit in lane and not lose your tower, if that's possible. How to play rank versus normal ult pick? I mean, I don't think rank versus normal ult pick's any different. It's probably just better, right? I don't have any tips. When does a hero want to defend, sit safely in tier 1 instead of invade enemies? Heroes that don't generally farm fast like to play their own safe lane. Morphling, Lifestealer, Weaver, Slark. Heroes that are survivable with no flash farm mechanic. So, like, an example of not doing that would be Medusa, because she flash farms. But okay, I gotta go, guys. Is PA really that bad? Yeah, she is. 46% win rate or some shit. Really bad. They nerfed her into the ground. Just so you know, Bruno at TI10 told me that if they nerf a hero's base strength by 1, the hero's win rate goes down by 1%. What they did to PA was she was really broken for a week, and then they nerfed her base strength by 2. They nerfed her strength gain. They nerfed her agility gain, and her win rate went down like 6%. So if you guys see these like stat changes and you think, it doesn't matter, I assure you it does. It matters a lot. Stat gains are very important in Dota. You just don't notice them because you passively gain them. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in 4 hours. Hopefully you guys are there.